All right. Ready to dive into something new? We're all about kettlebells in this deep dive. Articles, blog posts, even some stuff from this guy, Pavel. Apparently, he's like the kettlebell master. So by the end of this, you'll know how to make this workout, actually work for you.
Yeah, and the cool thing is, we're not just talking about, like, any workout, right? I mean, everything we've been reading makes it clear that kettlebells, they're more than just some fad. The efficiency is kind of mind-blowing.
Yeah.
Like a full-body workout with just one piece of equipment, where do I sign up?
Right. One article even called it a portable gym, which I thought was awesome. I mean, let's face it, not everyone's got room for a home gym these days.
And speaking of which, looks like kettlebells won't break the bank either, which is always a plus.
Totally.
One article mentioned a good 24-kilogram kettlebell going for like 27 bucks. Can't beat that.
You really can't. Okay, but I have a confession to make. The first time I ever saw a kettlebell, intimidated doesn't even begin to describe it.
Really?
Yeah. Picture this. I'm at the gym, right? And this trainer, we'll call him James, he hands me this thing. Basically, a cannonball with a handle.
Uh-huh.
I'm thinking, what in the world am I supposed to do with this?
You know, that's actually a super common reaction. A lot of the articles mention that whole intimidation factor. But they also stressed how versatile kettlebells are. It's not just about swinging them around, although we'll get to that.
Oh, we will.
Seems like the swing is everyone's favorite.
Definitely seems that way. But okay, before we get ahead of ourselves, what makes these things so special?
Well, one of the most interesting things is how kettlebells work your body differently compared to, like, regular weights.
How so?
It's less about isolating muscles. It's more about using momentum and the controlled movements. You end up using muscles you didn't even know you had.
Okay, now you've got me intrigued. Engaging those hidden muscles, I'm all for it.
Oh, yeah.
And speaking of efficiency, one article I read, it really emphasized how, like, just a few kettlebell exercises can work your entire body. We're talking legs, core, back, shoulders, everything.
Exactly. It's a full-body workout in one package deal.
Exactly.
And that's a huge part of what makes kettlebell training so effective. You're not just building show muscles, right? It's about functional strength, the kind that helps you in, like, real-life situations.
Yeah.
Imagine easily lifting your suitcase into the overhead compartment on a plane. No problem.
Right. No more awkward struggles at the airport. Love it. Okay, but before we get too carried away, I know from experience that starting with the right kettlebell weight is crucial. Too heavy, you risk getting hurt. Too light, and you're kind of cheating yourself. So how do you find that sweet spot?
You're totally right. Finding that right weight is key. And luckily, our kettlebell guru, Pavel, he gives some great advice on what we're reading. He breaks it down by, like, your experience level and even gives target weights as you progress.
Okay, I'm all ears. What does Pavel recommend for us beginners just starting our kettlebell journey?
So Pavel, he suggests that the average guy new to kettlebells should aim for a 16 kilobell kettlebell
Okay.
and then gradually work up to 24 kilograms. For women, he recommends starting with 8 kilograms and progressing to 12, 16, and actually even 24 kilograms.
Nice. I'm already feeling inspired to level up. It's funny because one article mentioned the author, they started with lighter weights, but then, like, literally deleted them.
Deleted them.
Yeah, got rid of them to force themselves to use the heavier ones. I can totally relate to that. Sometimes you just need that little push to get out of your comfort zone.
That's so true.
Mm,
And, a lot of the sources really emphasize that challenging yourself is, like, super important. That's how you get the most out of kettlebell training.
makes sense.
It's not about being reckless
Right.
or anything. It's about finding that balance where you're pushing your limits, but safely.
Right.
One author even compared it to, like, a good stretch. Like, it should be challenging, but also, like, feel amazing.
Speaking of feeling amazing, one thing that really stood out to me across the board was the emphasis on proper form, especially with those kettlebell swings. It's not just about, swinging a weight around, right?
Oh, absolutely not.
Yeah.
Proper form is crucial. And not just for, making the exercise more effective, but more importantly, for preventing injuries.
Right.
A lot of the articles stressed protecting your back and shoulders.
Yeah, which makes sense. I mean, we are talking about basically a cannonball with a handle here. One article even suggested, like, if you're brand new to kettlebells, find a good trainer, at least to get started, just to make sure you're doing everything right.
That's actually really great advice, especially if you're not sure about your technique or if you have, like, any old injuries.
Yeah,
A good trainer can, check how you move and fix any problems. Make sure you start off on the right foot.
totally. Okay, so let's say you've got your perfect kettlebell, your form is on point, and you're feeling good. Now comes the real challenge, making it a habit. Life has a way of, throwing
Oh,
curveballs.
tell me about it.
Yeah.
Everyone struggles with consistency. The sources definitely acknowledge that. They talk about, those common traps like getting bogged down and tracking
Yeah.
every little detail or finding excuses not to work out, just getting caught up in the busyness of life. We've all been there.
It's so true. It's like week 1, yeah, I'm doing this, full enthusiasm. Then week 2 hits and suddenly I'm remembering all the errands I haven't run, the laundry's piling up.
Yep.
But luckily these sources, they don't just highlight the problem. They offer some really good solutions too.
Exactly. And you know what really struck me? The emphasis on keeping it simple. They're big on finding a routine that actually fits into your life. You don't need to overhaul your entire schedule. Small, consistent effort. That's the key.
I love that. They even mention this, like 90-second workout
So,
that you can do every hour. It's like sneaking in these mini workouts throughout the day. You could literally do it while you're waiting for your coffee to brew.
seriously, I love that idea. It's like that micro workout approach.
Yeah.
It's all about breaking down those mental barriers we build around exercise.
Yeah.
You don't need a fancy gym or hours of free time.
It reminds me of this friend of mine, Mark. He speaks like 5 languages.
Wow.
I know, right? I always thought he was just like genetically gifted.
Right.
But he told me his secret, and it was kind of a joke, but he was like, I learn languages overnight the same way skinny people lose weight overnight. But his point was, it's not about these huge leaps. It's about those small, consistent things you do over time.
Such a good analogy. And that totally applies to kettlebells, too. It's not about swinging the heaviest weight possible on day 1. It's about starting where you are now and practicing and then gradually leveling up, just like learning a new language.
Exactly. So we've got the right weight, we're focused on form, and we're all about consistency. But let's be real, swinging that kettlebell back and forth, even with the best intentions, that can get a little repetitive. What else is out there? What else can we do with these things? I'm ready to branch out.
Oh, you are in luck. The sources mentioned a ton of exercises beyond the swing.
Okay, like what?
Turkish get-ups, squats, lunges, cleans, snatches. There's a whole world of movement to explore.
Okay, I'm not gonna lie, some of those sound kind of intimidating. Especially the Turkish get-up. I'm picturing myself like flailing around with this kettlebell over my head, completely losing my balance.
I get it. They can definitely seem daunting,
Hmm.
but they are so rewarding. Think of them as like the next level of your kettlebell journey.
Okay. You've piqued my interest. Let's break these down a little. What's so great about venturing beyond the swing? What can these other exercises do for you? So let's start with this Turkish get-up. It's got me intrigued, but also a little terrified. Sounds kind of like a strength training circus act,
Haha, yeah, I can see that. Okay, so picture this. You're lying on the floor, kettlebell in hand, and you're going to move up to a standing position. But the whole time, you're keeping that weight steady overhead.
Sounds challenging.
It's like a moving meditation, but with strength training built in.
Oh, okay, that actually sounds kind of zen. But seriously, what are the benefits besides, the look what I can do factor?
Oh, the benefits are huge. It's like the Swiss Army knife of exercises. Strengthens your core, your shoulders, legs, improve mobility, stability, even your grip strength gets better. Plus, it's a mental workout too. Focus and coordination.
The ultimate mind-body challenge. Okay, I'm adding it to the list. What about kettlebell squats and lunges? They sound a little less intimidating. How do they compare to the regular versions?
Well, with kettlebell squats, instead of a barbell on your back, you hold the kettlebell close to your chest.
Okay.
Really engages your core in a different way.
Yeah.
And those stabilizing muscles, they got to work harder.
So it's like a bonus core workout while you squat. Nice. And lunges, more core engagement there too.
Absolutely. Same muscles as regular lunges, quads, hamstrings, glutes, but that extra weight adds instability. So yeah, your core is working harder to keep you balanced.
Love it. Okay, the articles also talked about cleans and snatches. Those sound pretty advanced. Are we talking like Olympic weightlifter level here?
They're definitely more technical than swings or squats or lunges, yeah. But don't be scared off. So with a clean, you're bringing the kettlebell from a hanging position up to your shoulder and fast. Use your hips and legs to power it. And a snatch that takes it further, you're propelling the kettlebell overhead in one smooth movement.
Lots of coordination involved there. Why bother mastering those? What are the benefits?
Cleans and snatches are awesome for explosive strength, power. They get your heart rate going too. Good for cardio, burning calories. And you're going to improve your coordination, body awareness just by learning these moves.
Sounds like the kind of exercise that makes you feel like a total badass.
Right. But remember, safety first, always. Learn the proper technique from someone who knows their stuff, especially with these more advanced moves.
Good advice. So it's amazing how much you can do with kettlebells. We went from simple swings to like Turkish get-ups, and now explosive snatch is something for everyone.
Absolutely. That's what's so cool about kettlebells. You can adapt your workout to like where you're at, your fitness level, your goals. Doesn't matter if you're just starting out or if you're a seasoned pro.
Right. Speaking of adapting, one article talked about using kettlebells as part of a bigger fitness routine, even mentioned using them with running, rowing, calisthenics.
Exactly. Kettlebells, they aren't just a workout on their own. They're like the ultimate cross-training tool. All that strength and power you build, it helps you in so many other activities, like whether you're running a marathon or just trying to keep up with your kids.
Like a secret weapon for your workouts. Well, we've covered a lot of ground in this kettlebell deep dive. From basic swings to advanced cleans and snatches, we did it all. If you had to leave our listeners with just one thing, what would it be?
Don't be afraid of kettlebells. They're fun, they're challenging, and they're a really effective way to get fit, whatever your goals are.
Love it. And remember, it's about finding what works for you. Start small, focus on good form, keep it consistent, and don't be afraid to challenge yourself. You might just find your new favorite way to work out.
Exactly.
That's it for this deep dive on kettlebells. Go find your perfect kettlebell and start swinging your way to a stronger, healthier you.